Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the podcast that's got more gadgets than in a sharper image catalog.
It's Guys of a Certain Age. Robbie Koblenz in studio alongside Jay Reed. How'd you like that?
I like it. I wish I had a voice, though. I got left out of that.
I guess you kind of did, don't you? I mean, I could program you one real quick. I mean,
well, it might be a little.
You know, let's see if I could do this real quick. So we've got some new toys.
I like that.
Actually, we're going to do Talk, Jay. Yeah.
Could you even understand that?
Yeah.
I could barely hear the gravel.
So my joke was that as I was setting this board up, it's the new Rode Podcaster Pro 2, which is not that new, but it's new to me, and they've got some cool features in it. I was joking that you kind of sound like Jabba the Hutt.
When you go like this, Han Solo.
That's awesome.
Doesn't that sound like Jabba?
It does sound.
So anyway, it's got all kinds of stuff. I mean, we have our old standbys of you know. That's kind of for you, Jay.
Yeah,
I guess.
I expect.
And then chimes. So it could be
like going into the next.
It's time for Jay's Regrettable segment. That could be kind of fun.
Well, we need to do that today since our usual intro guy's not here.
Yeah, we thought he was going to be here, but you know, that thing called work. Then there's
I like that one.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. You're out of line, Jay.
Usually.
Yeah, completely out of line. So Art's not going to join us as we break in the new board. I'm going to try to set my mic up correctly. Let's jump into some Geeks of the Week. Who would like to go first? Jay, would you like to go first?
I'll go first because it's pulled up and I'm afraid it might go down if my screen closes. So this is throwback to our I feel I kind of hear an echo. Do you hear me echoing?
You sound great.
I thought I sound great. Well, that's very kind of you.
Yeah.
Since our maybe one actual Guys of a Certain Age field trip to Memphis to see Hamilton, this popped up today. One of the things that, you see this all the time. You got Lin-Manuel Miranda and others that, they did the show for ever how many year or two ever, and then they bow out and then somebody else comes along and then it starts touring out, blah, blah, blah. So you expect different actors in the different roles. But apparently there's one guy who's been in Hamilton since the very beginning and is still there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, his name is Thane Jasperson, and he plays the part of the British loyalist Samuel Seabury. And I was trying to kind of think back through it. I think he gets on a podium of a sort and is talking down to him, and then Hamilton talks back to him. Anyway, he's that guy. Also, as I recall, he's kind of one of those that's in the ensemble cast, doing all the little dancing around and singing and all that stuff, like they do in musicals. But he's been in it since over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if that happens. That doesn't normally happen, I don't think.
You're asking the guy who doesn't like
You're not the right person to ask that question. But as a musical enthusiast, I've never heard of that. Somebody who's been in something that long lasting for that long.
It's literally been his day job.
Pretty much, yeah.
He's probably worked at that job longer than you've worked at any job in the last 15, 20 years.
In the last 15, for sure.
Yeah. So
I had 1 for 10, and then before that, after that, negative.
He's about to beat you, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably, I don't know, he may be having more fun, too.
Probably so.
But I know he's working his tail off at the same time. 2 shows a day sometimes, and, man, just consider what that would do to your voice. Of course, he's not...
No, you only have 2
outright.
shows on Saturday. You have a matinee and a Saturday night. Then you have a Sunday matinee. Then your dark Monday.
Yeah. Well, still, that's a lot during the week.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's 6 shows across 5 days. Even I know that much. I mean, come on. So
I don't know. There's sometimes other. I mean, in Memphis, there's matinees on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Matinee on Saturday, show Saturday night, matinee on Sunday.
Yeah, well, sometimes there's matinee and show on Sundays too.
Really?
Depending on the venue. Yeah.
Man, that's got to be so tiring. I cannot imagine.
That was my point. Yes.
I can't imagine. So, but
for 10 years. I mean, I guess a lot of them, they move from one musical to the next. So it's not like they're quitting singing.
Yeah.
But I don't. It seemed like you get tired of it, but I guess not. He says he tries to. The article said he tried to, freshen things up a little bit from time to time to make it interesting. But you only have so much room, I would think.
I wonder if he was ever considered for any to be understudy, or I wonder if he is understudy for any of the more prominent parts.
Yeah, that wasn't mentioned, but that would you would think he would know them all by now.
You would think. You would think. So you saw that Leslie Odom's coming to Meridian, the Grand Opera House, in November.
I saw he was coming somewhere.
Yeah. So who played Aaron Burr in the original run?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't connect those dots, but I did see the name.
Yeah. So he's going to be doing a show at the Grand Opera House in Meridian, which would be kind of cool. You've seen a show there, haven't you? What have you seen at the Grand Opera House?
In Meridian?
Yeah.
Reggie and Lady Love Smith from Gaither Vocal Band, Gaither.
Oh yeah, your friends. Yeah,
my friends. I think that's the only show I've been to there.
Yeah. We saw the Gin Blossoms there, which was great. Mm-hmm. But as has been documented in this podcast before, I have a long history with the Grand Opera House, including I've got a photo from the cover of Mississippi Power's monthly magazine of where they preview the Grand Opera House, and I'm handing a board up to somebody from the ground level to the first balcony.
Would you call that a mullet?
It was a mullet. I had combat boots on, black denim pants when black jeans became pretty popular.
What I want to do is do like a weekend or like a Saturday, Sunday Meridian where you go down and do the arts experience? Is that the name of it?
Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience.
Do that in the afternoon or morning and then go to a show that night at the Opera House. And then, there's several places I would like to eat. So just kind of make a weekend of it.
Weidman's.
I've done Weidman's a couple times.
It's kind of it.
Eat It Jeans, is that a place?
Yeah, but Jeans is not jeans. So it name only. So
okay.
It's, yeah.
The jeans doesn't have good jeans.
We're not getting into the Sydney Sweeney controversy. American Eagle, thank you so much.
I said nothing.
Yeah. Harvest Grill's pretty good. There's a few other places.
Well, I'm not going to be there a long time, so.
The Rustler, which is the steakhouse out.
I ate it at a barbecue place one time there that was pretty good that I'd read about, but it's been years.
The thing downtown, I forgot what it was.
It wasn't downtown. It was somewhere out.
I wonder where that was.
I can't even remember.
Must have not been that good.
Well, I went because I heard it was good, but it may not be still around.
Well,
even good places go down every now and then.
It may not have.
The big C-19, knocked COVID.
Oh yeah.
Knocked a lot of places out that were good.
Boy, isn't that the truth? So, but hey, by the way, as we're talking food, before I get to my geek, I finally ate at Mitchell's Pizza in Eupora.
Oh, how'd you like it?
It was great.
Yeah, I've had everything I've had from there is good, and everybody at work goes there a lot, so I feel like they'll do well.
And it's relatively new. It's only a year old?
Not even.
Wow.
They've been working on it for a long time, but they finally opened it just a few months ago.
Gotcha. Yeah. Maybe probably my second favorite pizza. Maybe third in the area. Number one's going to be Dave's Chicago style. Number two is going to be Pizza and Pints. Their pizza. I like it. And I like Lost a lot. This is probably supplanted Lost in my hierarchy of local pizza.
Yeah. I'm anxious to go back.
Yeah, so good stuff. All right, so my Geek of the Week marries two of my loves of Star Wars and Doctor Who. Sean Levy is going to be directing a new Star Wars movie. It's been one that's been in discussions for a while. Ryan Gosling is starring in Star Wars Starfighter. It takes place 5 years after Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. So not directly connected to the Rey saga, the Skywalker saga at all. Ryan Gosling's going to be the lead.
Ryan Gosling.
Can you believe that?
Okay.
But a former Doctor Who, Matt Smith, is going to be the big bad.
Oh, okay.
There was talk at one point about Matt Smith coming into Rise of Skywalker. There was talk of him being Thrawn, cast as Grand Admiral Thrawn, I believe. Anyway, so it's been announced that he's actually going to come in and be be a bad guy in the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
How cool is that?
But it's sort of a standalone story. I mean, connected but not connected. Standalone-ish story.
I don't think there's going to be. Well, who knows? No, nobody knows.
Maybe standalone-ish with some cameo connections.
I kind of hope not. I kind of want to move past the Skywalker.
Understandable.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm really looking forward to Ahsoka season 2 to see what happens in that extended universe that those characters are in. But
when
to
is
me,
that happening?
They're shooting now, but
Okay.
that would kind of, I think, button it up for me. Know. So, and then we have Mandalorian and Grogu, which is out in 2 years. The Pedro Pascal domination.
2 years. Good grief.
Maybe it's out next year. I can't remember. Maybe it's out in 26. But the Pedro Pascal domination continues.
I was going to say, we have a little Pedro drought if we wait 2 years.
Oh, man, because, he's off Last of
My
Us.
mother would not like that at all.
Well, your mother probably, yeah. Okay, we'll move on with that.
Careful.
Your mom and her one-woman crusade against Max South has been kind of fun to watch. So, I mean, just for those keeping, score at home, Mrs. Reed has lost on Max South. What did they cut? NBC?
She says her NBC. Well, no, it's ABC. Well, NBC was part of it, but ABC, ESPN, Disney, which most of that she didn't watch, but basically a lot of the stuff she watches on NBC is supposedly leaving.
So when is NBC going to be back to Max South?
See, I'm not sure. It made sense that, because WTVA, they have NBC and ABC.
Yeah.
And so ABC, ESPN, Disney, that's all one company.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured that's what it was, and maybe there was some confusion, but I haven't really followed up because I don't have Max South and not really.
Are you doing YouTube TV?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to convince her to do it too.
It'd be super simple to do.
Yeah. When I have time to go over there and set it up, we're going to do it.
You're going to have a powwow and tell her what she needs.
Yeah. I tell her exactly like I said, now it's
You're going to tell
the
her how it
interface is a little bit of a challenge, even for me. But you'll watch it more than I do, so you'll be able to figure it out quick.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you can work it, anybody can work it.
that's true.
Right.
Yeah. And I can't yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. I really do like YouTube TV quite a bit. Better than Hulu Live for sure.
Yeah. And see, we don't use it all that much, but we are entering August as we record, and football season is upon
Buddy,
us.
we've been in August for like 7 days or 6 days or something like that. Yeah. So we've entered. We're not entering. We have
still
entered.
in the first week, and come end of August will be football season cranking up, I assume, and that's when my YouTube TV will get a workout.
ESPN's supposed to launch their standalone sometime over the next few weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is that going to screw up my YouTube TV watching?
probably shouldn't, but you would be able to buy ESPN standalone for $30.
Okay. See, that was the other thing people were complaining about. Not her necessarily, but when she starts looking for the Ole Miss game and SEC Network's not there, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Lots of problems for lots of people.
So she already lost days of our lives. So I mean they quit doing that anyway. So, but she still watches a lot of evening shows.
We haven't talked about Stephen Colbert. Well, we have.
Yeah, that was your geek list.
Yeah, getting canceled. We didn't go real in depth into it, but I saw something yesterday. Here's an addendum to my Geek of the Week. Howard Stern's contract with SiriusXM does not appear to be renewed. Whoa, did you hear that?
I did.
Wow, so I should have had this in silent mode. Sorry about that, Bonnie. We're going to turn that down. So that was Fight Fire with Fire by Kansas off the Drastic Measures LP. So
Yes.
yeah. So Howard Stern, who has continued to lose money for SiriusXM, is being non-renewed.
Okay.
So he had 100.
He has 2 channels, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or 2 shows, something.
So the speculation was that he will negotiate a licensing fee for his back catalog, but
Okay.
his last contract was $100 million for 10 years, which is
Grief.
yeah.
What do you think he is, a football coach?
Well, at that point he brought a lot of people over to listen to SiriusXM, and I just don't think the listenership numbers are there. I never listened to Howard Stern.
No.
It's never been anything I've been very
In my lifetime, 2 or 3 times, maybe. And
Yeah.
some of that was TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
just because there was nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, the speculation is that Jimmy Fallon's next, not Jimmy Fallon, but Jimmy Kimmel's next. We talked a little bit about that last time around. So it's going to be interesting to see how these large talent contracts shake out as contraction continues. So, but anyway, I think it's time to do, hold on, let's see if I can do it. It's time for Jay's Regrettable segment. Jay's Regrettable segment brought to you by USB-C, which is the connection of my phone hooking up to the Rodecaster Pro 2 that caused my wife's phone call, which I did not answer, to bleed over. Jay's Regrettable segment. And now here's Jay.
All right.
That wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad.
I probably need to turn this off now.
Maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I had that programmed for Art's mic. Ready for him to go. And
well, here we are.
He's not with us.
We have to show him what's going on. So this one I've saved for you. Because you saw the picture. You said, oh, that's ROM. And that's who we're doing today. ROM, Spaceknight.
That's right.
So this one is another.
It's redeemable.
Toy. This I think this may be the standout among the whole book that we've been working through for several reasons. A guy named Bing McCoy was responsible for the toy, and this was a situation where Parker Brothers saw what Kenner was doing with the Star Wars figures in the late 70s, 79, and invented this toy called ROM. Now the unique thing about ROM was it's a robot Space Knight. He had bells, literal bells, whistles, lights, and things. Everything. Very little articulation. Like the legs were stiff, the arms didn't do much. He had a couple of accessories, but there was no, even though there was a story about the dire wraiths who he fights against, there was no dire wraith figure. It was just ROM. It got panned. It was like on the cover, the corner cover of Time magazine as like one of the worst toys of the year. So the toy failed miserably. However, they went to Marvel for a collab, and a couple of names you might know, Bill Metlow, I don't know that name, but Sal Buscema. Yeah, we've talked about before. They did the comic, so it was ROM #1 in Marvel in December of '79. And the thing about the toy was cheaply made, sales bombed, like I said, but the companion comic did well. I looked it up in another source, and this went for 7 years, 75 issues. So the art was originally by Frank Miller. Okay. Dark Knight Returns, 300. Wow. Fabled Frank Miller in 79 before he became Frank Miller. So, but yeah. Yeah. So this is, I would say, we've talked about toy tie-ins. We've talked about longevity. I think this is the longest living, or not quite living. I don't think anybody we've talked about has lasted this long. Some have lasted 1, 2, 3 issues. This one lasted 7 years, 75 issues. Very, very successful. The sort of backstory was this, ROM was a cyborg space knight from Galador, planet of Galador. And the more I read online, I saw that he was a sort of alien humanoid that gave up his humanity to fight the dire wraiths. For about 200 years, the dire wraiths were a shapeshifter. They could, assume any form. He finds his way to Earth, where they've adopted the human form and are basically working their way from the inside to destroy Earth society, et cetera, et cetera. He was given Galador's greatest weapon, the neutralizer. So he starts off, though, he uses the analyzer first to detect whether this being, whatever, is a dire wraith. And then once he detects it, then he takes the neutralizer, which condemns them to the shadow zone. That's right. And the book said the unfortunate part is that kind of when they were banned to the shadow zone through this device, that it left something that looked like charred human remains. So he comes down to Earth. He's this scary robot. He's shooting and neutralizing what looks like people, but are not. But thankfully, he can explain himself, and they understand. Oh, okay, you're killing the bad guys. So he had, I guess, he was still human enough. He had some sort of a love interest. There were some other Space Knight sidekicks. You said redeemable. I completely agree. I don't think we even have to say that. If it lasted 7 years and 75 issues, it never got regrettable. The issue, though, is licensing.
That's right.
So Hasbro apparently has it now, and
It was originally a Parker Brothers
Right.
licensee, and
yeah, and then I guess Hasbro own
I believe they
Parker
do.
Brothers now
Yeah.
or whatever. So the issue is it sounds like Hasbro is just kind of holding on to it for, to make a big movie or to relaunch the comic. But even the comic thing has issues because Marvel has certain rights, Paramount has certain rights, Hasbro has certain rights. So it's all mixed up and mumbled. But apparently at the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con, Hasbro put together this little toy box. And I think it had a G.I. Joe, maybe a Transformer, and it had like a 3.75 inch sort of updated figure of ROM. Now, they've never released it to the public. You had to be there to get it. But there's still interest.
There's a lot of interest, and there was a Space Knights miniseries in October 2000, which Jim Starlin wrote for Marvel that kind of fleshed out a little bit of the ROM backstory. ROM has also been strongly linked to Micronauts, which is one of my favorites. I've got the Volume 1 Micronauts Compendium. They came out about the same time. Micronauts, I believe, was a Parker Brothers licensee as well. And it's the same sort of thing that the rights are tied up, so they can't be part of the MCU. ROM was published by Marvel, had crossovers with S.H.I.E.L.D., with the Avengers, X-Men, the whole kit and caboodle, and Micronauts is kind of the same sort of thing. Micronauts, had a crossover with Fantastic Four, and there was speculation when Ant-Man went into the quantum universe, you might see Micronauts because Micronauts were essentially from the quantum realm. So, but licensing and that sort of thing. So, ROM was great. The toy sucked.
Yeah. Did you have one?
I did not have one. I had a friend who had one, I believe, but did not have the coolness of some of the Star Wars toys or everything's coming out. But the comic book was great. And it's one of those legendary comic books that, folks are like, oh, well, it's probably better than it actually is. You remember it in a much more fonder light. That's kind of the way I feel about Micronauts as I've gone through the omnibus. But the ROM omnibus has been published as well. Marvel were able to recapture republication rights of their 75-issue run to ROM in 2023 for both ROM and Micronauts. And so
okay, I was wondering, because what I read said that was tied up and you pretty much had to find it was in the book. You just said you had to pretty much go to the back issues and find those. So there is a graphic novel now or something along those lines?
Just like my Micronauts compendium. So, and that stuff came out last year, late 23.
Well, then that's after this was published.
Yeah, late 23, early 24, something like that.
Okay.
So, but ROM was one of those things that kind of took a fantasy science fiction approach. There was a little Jedi Star Wars in there. I'm really kind of surprised it's in the Regrettables because it ran for so long.
I wonder if that's the only reason is because it has struggled to come back.
Yeah.
Could have and couldn't.
Yeah. We're almost, is this our last Regrettable?
There's one more.
There's one more from this book.
Yep.
I have purchased the League of Regrettable Sidekicks, which is by the same author, John, what's John's last name?
Morris,
which I've reached out to John Morris a couple times via email. I'd love to get him on to talk about it. And then a companion, The Spectacular Sisterhood of Superwomen, which is not by John Morris. It's by Rick Hope
Nicholson.
Yes, that person. And then there's a League of Regrettable Supervillains book, which I've got coming as well. So if we continue to do the podcast, we'll be stocked up for a while.
For a long time, because these books are much thicker than the edition I have.
Well, the edition, which I inadvertently gave to you, if I was smart, I would have kept, is the Loot Crate edition, which the Regrettable Superheroes original publication was like twice as long. So maybe we need to vacillate between a sidekick, a superwoman, and a supervillain going forward.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So anyway.
Keeps going a long time.
A long, long time. All right. That's a long, long segment. We're going to take a break, and we're going to talk Fantastic Four up next. Appendix, addendum, whatever that Greek word is, Art is able to join us to add in his Geek of the Week. even though our Geeks of the Week were like 15 minutes ago, and we did a 12-minute ROM Spaceknight Regrettable. But we have Art, and that's all that matters.
Okay.
Right, Jay?
That's right.
That's right. All right. Art, how are you? How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Doing okay.
So
just busy. Sorry, I can't be there.
Yeah. So it is what it is. So
and I'll listen to it as soon as I've seen Fantastic Four, which may be tonight, maybe Friday night. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, good. So, well, what's your Geek of the Week?
Sad news. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, by the way, Jay went first this time.
I know. Jay went first.
Yeah.
Jay shot first.
All right.
Anyway, sad news. We heard this week that Lonnie Anderson has passed away just shortly before her 80th birthday. And I think best remembered as Jennifer Marlowe, the secretary or administrative assistant, receptionist. I can't remember exactly what her job was, but I think she basically ran WKRP from that series. Worked for Arthur Carlson and kept everybody in line.
The big guy.
She also the big guy. And I'm trying to think who all has passed away. I think they've lost several members of their cast at this point. But that was a fun show. We've talked about it before. We bring it up every Thanksgiving, of course. But Jennifer Marlowe, her character from that show is probably what she's best remembered. And then probably second to that is being Mrs. Burt Reynolds at one point. She was in his movie Stroker Ace, which I don't know that I ever saw. I'm bound to have seen it sometime. Do y'all remember that at all?
No, not at all.
Her character, it's funny to me because you had you had, what was it? Jennifer Marlowe was her character. And then you had Bailey Quarters. And there was kind of a Ginger and Mary Ann dynamic there. So people would, say, which one do you prefer, just with Ginger or Mary Ann or whatever. And I think I've gone to Miss Howell, by the way, on that question.
Oh,
but talented actress. She also starred in a series that I do not remember the name of with Linda Carter for a while. It only lasted about 13 episodes, but didn't really know what she was doing, lately. But sad that she passed away. Like I said, we love that show, and as I said, we mentioned it every Thanksgiving with the turkey drop thing. But she was great.
She actually was offered Delta Brooks' role on Designing Women.
Was she really?
Yeah, but
wow.
The network refused to pay the salary that she requested.
Okay, and it's hard to imagine anybody being in that role other than Delta Brooks. I'll just say. But,
yeah. So you asked about who has passed on from the WKRP staff. Dr. Johnny Fever has.
I knew Howard Hessman, and the guy that played the big guy.
Gordon Jump, who played Arthur Carlson. And Herb Tarlick has passed on.
Herb Tarlick was the one that I was kind of surprised. Because he seemed younger, but I don't guess none of them really are anymore. But anyway. But those are the only three. So Venus Flytrap is still around,
and Les Nessman, Richard Sanders.
Les Nessman. Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Something I did see that's kind of related to this is somebody, and I just saw the link scrolling through social media the other day. But somebody has created, and I'll have to find it. We'll maybe we can share the link next week. But has created the WKRP experience, and what they've done is they've taken clips from the show and created a Johnny Fever morning show and they lead in and they play the full song. So you've got like a 4-hour show with clips of him introducing a particular song and probably saying booger at some point. But and then going into the music, and then they did the same thing with Venus Flytrap, so you can listen to his evening show. So it's somebody in Ohio that's done that, and it's kind of made a real WKRP experience, because that's not an actual radio station. But anyway, and coming out of Cincinnati.
Wow.
That'd be pretty cool.
There was a revival, the new WKRP in Cincinnati.
I forget about that. Yeah. Was she in that as well?
She was in for 2 episodes.
Okay.
But you would know Tawny Katane, who was a series regular.
Yeah.
Is it love that I'm feeling?
Bachelor Party, I think, which she played Tom Hanks' fiance in that.
I don't even remember that. So yeah.
Well, I don't think it was. She's passed away now, by the way.
We talk about WKRP a lot, but I think you can get episodes now because I think the licensing issue has been taken care of. But
because of the music.
Yeah, I could be wrong
because they would actually play musical tracks in it. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Good stuff.
All right. There's Art's Geek of the Week. We're going to kick it a break, and we'll be back and talk Fantastic Four next. And we're back. We got Art in at the last minute. A little technical wizardry, the wonders of technology. Much better than a couple of tin cans and a piece of string.
But that was a great one. It lasted.
Yeah, that was great while it lasted. All right, let's talk Fantastic Four. You and I went to go see it. Enjoyed it quite a bit. But give me your thoughts on Marvel's First Family.
I definitely think this is the best of the Fantastic Four movies.
Yep.
I liked that because, I'm not a big alternate universe kind of a guy, but I'm glad it was really unique because it was at Earth 828 or something like that. 818. So different universe, which meant they could do some things that they might not otherwise have done. They could be original, even though they're following a comic, I'm sure, but they could, it seemed like it was the 50s, but still they had all this technology that, didn't exist in our 50s.
Yeah. So, retro future.
Yeah. So I really liked the look of it. I thought the look of it was great. The casting. The only question I had, I thought, I'm not going to say it, but Ebon Moss-Bachrach for The Thing, Ben Grimm, loved him.
I thought he was phenomenal.
Yeah, Johnny Storm. He was okay. I didn't have strong opinions either way. I thought Vanessa Kirby was fantastic in her role.
No pun intended.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm gonna probably say that again accidentally. Pedro Pascal was good, but I don't know if I loved him in this.
I agree.
But we can go back to details later, but I like the fact that it seemed, the hero, and of course, spoilers. The hero of this was really a woman in the end.
Yeah.
A woman saves the day, a baby saves the day, and then you have sort of this stream going through the whole movie of family and parenting. That really kind of drives the whole thing, which is kind of unique, I think.
It is.
But it didn't lose the superhero aura of, the cool car and the powers. The only thing that I sort of noticed is that the Reed Richards character seemed to be they focused more on his intellect and having the answers and less on being Mr. Stretchy,
Yeah.
That kind of came in at the end, but it was almost like a side note, his actual powers. So, but anyway, very, very glad to see that come. I got a little bit more hope for Marvel in these next few movies. I think their mid and end credits were a whole lot more useful than the Superman movie.
So the again, spoilers, mid credit was you saw Dr. Doom with Franklin Richards. The mask is off, but his face is cloaked. And apparently that was Robert Downey Jr.
I heard got wind of that. Yeah.
I forgot what was
that was filmed on the Doomsday stage.
Oh, wow.
I think I read that too.
I didn't realize that. And then the end credits, they took the old Fantastic Four animated intro.
That was fun.
And modernized it. Well, they didn't really modernize it. They put the likenesses of these four actors into those cartoon characters.
So it didn't really drive the story, but it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. So, because I remember that as a kid, and like we talked about before, Herbie the robot was generated from the animated series and made its way to the comic book. So Herbie was not a comic original. So to see Herbie incorporated was great. I thought the film, the production design was amazing. That retro future look was fabulous. The way their vehicles. Again, we talked about this with the Superman movie. There was no origin story told. You had an origin story kind of in flashback, but the movie took place after the Fantastic Four were themselves and had been saving the world for 4 years.
Long enough to have their own animated series in the movie.
That's right. And they name-checked a variety of their traditional supervillains.
Okay.
Mole Man. Well, Mole Man
was in it,
but there were a couple others they talked about. So I really like that aspect of it. I agree that I like Pedro Pascal a lot. He may have not been the perfect casting for this. Of course, after seeing John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in the Doctor Strange multiverse movie, it would be hard for anybody to top John Krasinski. To me, he looks just like Reed Richards. Pedro Pascal was good, though. He was a little bit more angst-ridden.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good word.
and he reminds me of the way that Aragorn was portrayed in Lord of the Rings. If you go to the books, Aragorn is just a bad dude. In the Lord of the Rings movies, Aragorn is a lot more angst-ridden, and to me, it was very, very similar. You know, Pedro Pascal did not play Reed Richards as a self-confident alpha. It was more of a self-doubting, I don't really know what's going on. I'm hoping for the best. And, you know, the guy just found out he's going to be a father. I'm sure. I know I had that type of like, oh crap, what have I got myself into moment. I mean, I think every new parent does. But anyway, yeah, it was a lot of fun and under 2 hours long. So it moved very, very quickly. Special effects were great. The music was really, really good. This may have been my favorite Marvel score since the Avengers. I really like the Fantastic Four theme.
Yeah, I did too.
So,
and I like, I wasn't sure how to feel about Galactus because I didn't know much about him. And when I saw the trailers and all you see is this big shadow of a head and some big feet going through the city, it kind of looked robotish to me.
yeah.
But in the movie, it's much more got much more. I say human, but it's more real.
Yeah.
It's not just a robot. There's some emotion behind it and that kind of stuff. And Silver Surfer, that was a great.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know much about her. I don't know much about the other Silver Surfer either. But but that was an interesting kind of play in the story. You know, going back to her history and seeing how she became. But again, not a long origin story. Didn't need that. Just a flashback or two to help us know. Okay, well, that's how you got here.
Yeah.
This is why you're having this, drama in your heart about what to do, and this is why you're doing what you're doing. That it was enough, without a whole movie.
You know, the Fantastic Four has been billed as Marvel's first family for years. They were the marquee. They were the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man were the top selling, and I wish I had Art here to verify this. I believe they were the top selling books until X-Men came along. And so Fantastic Four was the bedrock for the Marvel Universe. And, Fantastic Four, they were based in New York, as was Spider-Man, as were the Avengers. So very, very important to Marvel. And it's taken them a while to get it right. I mean, we've kind of joked about it, but the best Fantastic Four until this one, best Fantastic Four movie ever made were The Incredibles. And The Incredibles was like pitch perfect Fantastic Four. All the drama there, the whole kit and caboodle, that was what the Fantastic Four was like.
Yeah.
And Marvel was able to capture that live on screen, which has been fun to watch.
Yeah, and just a side note, since we're talking about other movies, I noticed as I was scrolling through the cast that all four of the Fantastic Four who were in the 1994 movie were cast in this movie.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the Alex Hyde White, Michael Bailey Smith, Rebecca Staub, and Jay Underwood. Rebecca Staub, I'd seen some pictures of her. She was like at the premiere and pictures with Vanessa Kirby and that kind of stuff. She was original Sue Storm, or at least the 1994 Sue Storm. I need to find that movie. I want to go back and watch it now that it's kind of in the news, so to speak. Yeah. But I love that they did that. I mean, they were just newscasters and, power plant operators, but still they were there. Respect.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And you're talking about the family. It's almost like The Bear. You've got husband, wife, brother, actual family, and then Ben Grimm. Well, then in The Bear, it's like all these guys and cousin. Yeah, who's not actually a cousin. I learned this week. No. But anyway,
he's not.
So anyway, it's just interesting of that parallel. I kept waiting. There was sort of a little bit of Bear in the movie when he was cooking. So I'm waiting for cousin on The Bear to say, it's slobbering time.
Well, I was waiting for Ben Grimm to say something about Cousin,
Right.
at that point. I will say the effects on Ben Grimm were phenomenal.
Especially when he lost his razor or whatever and he
Yeah.
grows this stone beard.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Well, and the way that they were able to motion cap the actor to come through the CGI, he was, I mean, just his humanity alone, when they find out, they reveal early on that Sue Richards is pregnant, and he's got this little look on his face. It's like, he puts two and two together. I mean, it's great.
Yep.
It's great. I can't wait to see them in Doomsday. We have no idea how they get to the 616 universe that we see at the end of the new Avengers, the Thunderbolts movie, because it's a Fantastic Four jet. All of us assumed that there would be some sort of direct connection from First Steps, them getting in and going to the 818 universe.
Yeah.
And there's not.
Well, you almost thought when Galactus is coming, he's going to destroy the Earth, so everybody's going to be safe somehow, and the Fantastic Four end up in their rocket, and they go to this universe, and that connects. That was in my head as it was happening, but obviously didn't happen.
Yeah. So a lot of fun. Would you go see it in the theaters again?
I might. Of course, there's a few scenes I missed, but I don't know. I'm kind of in this place where I have so many things I want to see and do, media wise, that would I spend the time to go see it again? Probably not.
Yeah. I would probably go see this one in the theater again just to get the full cinematic experience. I don't feel that way about Superman.
Yeah.
So I did you like this better than Superman?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This was just a fun
Superman
movie.
was good. I just say I think this was better.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. So, all right. Any other thoughts on Fantastic Four?
That is pretty much it.
He consults his notes, looks, and turns away. So, all right, that's going to do it for us this week. We'll see you next time around.